On the Fed, Steve.
Thanks very much. Well, 6 financial regulators, including the Federal Reserve, the FDIC, the control of the currency, urging some regulatory relief or supervisory relief for banks, for businesses and credits affected by the coronavirus. Regulators say banks should work with their customers in affected communities and to basically talk to them and try to work things out over time. This is very similar, Wilf, to the kind of guidance that we get in an area after a hurricane or other natural disaster. Something we talked about could be coming from the regulators a couple weeks ago. And now they're out with this saying, work with your borrowers and work with supervisors to try to get over the hump of whatever credit problems might ensue from the coronavirus. Sarah?
But Steve, bank stocks, I can't remember off the top. Well, Bank of America was down 15% today. It was down close to 40% from its February peak. Is this essentially saying banks should take the hit in the short term?
No, here's what it's saying.
The government's going to help.
Well, you've seen these before. They have done this many, many times before, and you've seen these, where what they say is if the borrower is having trouble making a payment because of the virus that's out there, or in other cases of the hurricane, the supervisors are not going to swoop in and penalize you for not taking action on that bad credit that's in place there. This is a situation where they're saying we're going to provide supervisory relief or supervisory oversight, where we're going to say, okay, you guys, that is okay for now. I mean, if we get a year from now and it's still a bad credit, we're going to penalize you, but we're not going to do it now.
All I would say on that, Steve, I totally get your point, is that kind of expectation sort of goes without saying. It's not like this is a groundbreaking shift in support. Not that you're framing it that way anyway, in a way that I think markets are waiting and looking to hear from as to whether we actually get genuine help from the government to say, we will make sure these companies don't need to let the banks down, if you see what I mean.
That is a very different story, Wilf, and you and many other people, including members of the Federal Reserve, are waiting for that from the fiscal side. The Fed here doing what it can do, and I would just offer, if it didn't need saying, that I don't think they would say it. Apparently, this is an important piece of the whole regulatory framework for them to step forward and say, don't worry about this.
I think the Fed is in its crisis playbook here, and the federal government is not. Is that what's happening?
I think if you were to measure who is further down the line of thinking this is important and they need to act, certainly the Federal Reserve is taking substantial actions. And as you know, Sarah, they're expected to take much more substantial actions.